everybody, it's the War Hipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting Belthanos, the first Thorn of Kurnoth. Yes, here he is. Absolutely stunning miniature for the Sylvaneth. Looks incredible, looks amazing, absolutely love it, and we're going to be painting it up today in the colours of my Sylvaneth. Just to continue this series, we're not going to be doing box art, so sorry if you're looking for the box art version of things. But if you've been painting along with my Sylvaneth collection, then you'll be excited to see this one. And that's what we're going to do. It's been sent to me early by Games Workshop as part of the Blades of Belthanos box to build up and paint for all of you. And that is exactly what we are going to be doing today. And well, we're just going to jump in and we are going to start. It has been primed in Wraithbone, as with all of my Sylvaneth. And the colour we're going to be using first is Black Legion. I'm going to be applying this over the top of all of the black, well, it's not black carapace, it's all of the red on the box art. So I'm going to be applying this over the top like this. I'm just going to try and avoid that eye just there. And what we're going for here is kind of like a black bug type thing, like a black beetle. So I've got a really cool little recipe in mind for how we're going to do this. We want to get this over the top of, as I said, everywhere on the box art where you can see red. So I'm starting here on the face. We do have all of this area to do, for example, and we are also going to do the legs as well.
And whilst we're painting all of this Black Legion, it's a good time for me to tell you about our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Serious Readers. I've talked about them in the past, so you guys already know I really believe in their stuff. So when Serious Readers asked me to check out their high definition Gemini table light, you know I absolutely had to. It uses all the same great stuff as their floor light, especially their proprietary daylight wavelength technology to replicate the daylight spectrum as closely as technically possible, which makes a big difference on your eyes. The biggest feature here though is that it's not one, but two light engines on separate flexible arms, giving you optimal coverage of your painting space, a light source to share with someone else, or a perfect setup for taking photos of your miniatures. They're built right here in the UK, as Serious Readers is a British company pioneering research into improving sight through shedding better light, relying on replicating the natural daylight spectrum that our eyes have evolved to use. They offer a 5-year warranty and are recommended by over 500 independent opticians. They're also super cool folks with excellent customer service, so much so that when I asked for a colder bulb, they sent me one, or in this case two, along with 2 diffusers to make my life even better. Check out Serious Readers today, and if you pick one up and use offer code SR488, you can get £100 off high definition lights and free delivery. Find out more in the links below.
So with all of that Black Legion applied across all of these details, as you can see, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Druchii Violet. I'm going to apply this over the top of all of the black. So with that Druchii Violet all applied, as you can see, what we're going to do now is we're going to take some grey Seer. And we're going to very gently dry brush this over the top of the black. And I'm just going to start up here. And what we're looking to do here is catch all these ridges and edges. Like that sort of thing. To just be really gentle. And then once that's done, we'll come back. So with that grey Seer dry brush applied to all of the armoury bits, we're now going to get weird, which is why we have a palette here. We have a lot of different paints and things open. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding like a sort of petroleum effect over the top of all of the kind of armoured bits. So we're looking for this section, this section, this section, this section, the face and the legs, but not the kind of muscular bits right in there. So we're looking for anywhere we've got quite a nice dry brushing effect going on. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using all 5 of the things you see before you. Lahmian Medium, Ard Coat, Volupus Pink, Warp Lightning and Talassar Blue. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our brush and we're going to start by taking some Lahmian Medium. And we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brush loads. Then we're going to take 1 brush load of Ard Coat, it's quite a big one. And we're going to add this to our Lahmian Medium. Like that. So we're creating quite a thin little glazy paint. Just going to wash the brush. I'm actually going to add 1 more Lahmian Medium there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pick a section that we're going to start on. So I'm just going to start on this large one just here. So we're going to apply this over the top. Like so. Then we're going to wash the brush and we're going to grab our contrast paints now. So we're going to grab Talassar Blue. We're going to add a bit of it there. Wash the brush. Grab some Warp Lightning. Add a bit of it there. And then we're going to wash the brush and grab some Volupus Pink. I'm going to add it in there as well. Then we're going to wash the brush. Grab some more of our mix. And then we're going to move it further. Like so. Wash the brush. Grab some Talassar Blue. Wash the brush. Grab some Warp Lightning. Wash the brush. Grab some Volupus Pink. A little bit more than that. Wash the brush one more time. And then back to our Ardcoat Lamian medium area. And that should be enough to take us all the way down. Like so. And we can just move that paint around a little bit more. Talassar Blue. Just add this in here. Like that. And then we're just going to leave it to dry. So with that all done, you should now have some shiny, well, a hint of shine with some pops of colour here and there across all the carapace, and it is still drying in some places, for example just around here, but it's got that almost kind of petroleum look to it. It's exactly what we want. So one of the things we are going to borrow from the box art is the yellow underbelly, because I think it'll look cool and give it kind of a hint of being, you know, like a bee. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some Imperial Fist and we're going to apply this over the top of all of the kind of inner areas of the creature. So we're looking for this large area, as well as the bits around the neck and the underbelly. So with all of that Imperial Fist applied, we're then going to take some Casandora Yellow. I'm going to use this to shade all the yellow. So with that done, just whilst we're waiting for it to dry, what we're going to do is we're going to take a roughly 3 parts Magos Purple to 1 part Apothecary White mix. And we're going to apply this over the top of the wings. This is a reference to the Gossamer archers and the Arch Revenant. That we've already done. So with that all done, what we're then going to do is a little bit of blending on this area. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a roughly 2 parts contrast medium to 1 part Gore-Grunta Fur mix. I'm going to start right down here. And what we want to do here is we want to apply this over the top of our body. Like so. I'm going to bring it all the way up to the stinger. And we're looking for a reasonably smooth coat here. Just like that. However, what we then need to do is we need to apply this all over the top of the top 3 segments of the tail. Like that, and then we need to kind of start blending it out along the sides. So what we're going to do here is we're going to essentially, from this angle just around there, we're going to draw a line like that. I'm going to block it in to the upwards part. Then we're going to wash the brush, and then along that line we're going to smooth out the transition. Just like that. So you see it should fade into the yellow. Then we're going to do the same thing along the other side. Just whilst we're waiting for that to dry, we're going to continue with the same mix, but what we're going to do is we're going to add, this is a little recess shading kind of thing to the head. like that. And then got these little kind of jointy areas. Between the back part and the front part, that we're also going to add this over. Like so. And then we've got one around here. Like that. And right in there underneath the head. A little overzealous just there. And so once more, with 2 parts contrast medium to 1 part Gore-Grunta Fur, we're then going to add a second coat, but we're going to do a little bit of blending up this way now. So we're going to apply this like so. Like that. And then we're going to take it down one more segment. Around about half of the segment. I'm going to wash the brush, and then we're going to run the brush like that when those 2 colours transition, so it starts to move. And then we're just going to do the same thing on the top. Just whilst we're waiting for that Gore-Grunta Fur to dry, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Flesh Tearer's Red. I'm going to use this to paint in any of the moss. And with that done, I'm then going to take some Leviathan Purple. I'm going to apply this over top of the sort of mandibles. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take a roughly 1-to-1 mix of contrast medium and Wyldwood. And we're going to apply this over the top of the top 2 segments of the tail. like so. And then we're also going to apply this around the top half of the third segment, like that. We're then going to wash the brush and then we're going to once again just smooth out the transition. By feathering most of it away. So with that done, you should have this really lovely little tail thing going on. What we're going to do now is we're going to add some of that kind of spotty markings that you can see on the box art going up the top part of the tail. And the colour we're going to be using to do this is Wyldwood. And basically what we want to do here is we want to take a small amount of this on our brush, and then we just want to start randomly applying little kind of speckles and dots. So I'm just going to start right kind of around over here. Just like this. And as you kind of start to make your way further down, it kind of becomes a bit more of a heavier stipple. And so with that now done, we're then going to take some Skrag Brown. I'm going to add very small amounts of little kind of dotted lines going through these markings. And yeah, we can go straight from the pot here. So with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take a roughly 3 parts contrast medium to 1 part Apothecary White to 1 part Blood Angel's Red mix. And we're going to use this to do a little bit of kind of extra shading on these wings. So starting from kind of, we'll go from the bottom here. We're going to apply this. Over the top of this kind of inner wing, just like that. Then on the next one up, we're going to apply this over about half of it. So we're just going to start down here. Like that. Then we're going to wash the brush, and then we're going to blend it out. Just like that. However, slight departure from what we've done in the past. We're going to do this now over the top of the spine. Going right in there. We're going to bring this all the way up. Like that. And then across the middle, there, we're going to remove it, creating a blend at either end, and then across the middle just here. I'm going to do the same thing. So with that done on the wings, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour. And we're going to apply this over the top of the big icon here. Now in the past we've shaded Retributor Armour with Cryptek Armour Shade Gloss, but it's no longer available. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to take some Reikland Fleshshade. We're going to use this to shade the gold. So with that done, our bug is now what I would call a War Hipster battle ready. So what we're going to do now is move on to Belthanos. The colour we're going to be using first is a roughly 2 parts Black Templar to 1 part Cygor Brown mix. And we're going to be applying this over the top of all of his wood. With our Cygor Brown and Black Templar mix applied to all of the wood, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Skeleton Horde. I'm going to use this over the top of the joints. Just like this. What we're also going to do is we're going to use this over the top of these sort of viney bits. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take a roughly 1-to-1 mix of Cygor Brown and Flesh Tearers Red. I'm going to apply this over top of all the trim, but also over the top of the hair. And so with that done, we're then going to take Flesh Tearer's Red on its own. Then we're going to apply this over the top of all the leaves, especially this cloak. So with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Black Legion and we're going to apply this over the top of the strap. And so with that done, we're then going to take two colours, Agrax Earthshade and Black Templar, and we're going to apply this over the wood of the horns. We're going to start with the Agrax Earthshade. I'm going to apply this all over. Like so. We're also going to apply it over the top. Like that. Then we're going to wash the brush, grab some Black Templar, and then around the top we're going to apply the over the top. Like so. And just grab a little bit of Black Templar and around the underside of that little bit of jewellery. We're going to apply it like that. Then we're going to wash the brush, grab a little bit more Agrax Earthshade, and just use that to blend the two colours together. So with that all done, we're then going to take 4 different colours: Lahmian Medium, Frostheart, Warp Lightning and Akhelian Green. I'm going to use this over the top of the spear tip. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking some Lahmian Medium and we're just going to apply this over the top of the spear, just like that. Then we're going to grab some Frostheart. I'm going to add it over the top, like so. Wash the brush, grab some Warp Lightning, and then we're going to add this in the bottom corner just there, and the top corner just there like that. Wash the brush one more time. Grab a little bit of Akhelian Green. I'm going to apply this in the bottom left and in the top right, like that. Then I'm going to wash the brush one more time. We're just going to poke the brush through the holes just to absorb the paint. And then we're going to do it again on the other side. Just whilst we wait for that to dry, we're going to do a similar thing here, only what we're going to do is we're going to take Lahmian Medium and we're going to apply this over the top of the heart of Belthanos. Then we're going to grab some Blood Angels Red I'm going to apply that in there like that. Wash the brush, grab a little bit more Lahmian Medium and use that to just move it around. Like so. So with that done, it's now just one last base coat to apply, and that is going to be some thinned down Retributor Armour. I'm going to apply this over the top of all the remaining details. So just all these decorative bits on the spear. The headdress and the horn. So with that done, what we're going to do now is we're going to take some Wyldwood, and over the top of the kind of blondie bits we're going to do a little bit of blending up here. So we're just going to apply some Wyldwood like that around about halfway. Going to give the brush a quick wash. And then I'm going to smooth out the transition across the rest of the vine. So that done, it's now time to add some shades, and we are going to once again take some Reikland Fleshshade. I'm going to use this to shade all the gold. What we're also going to do is going to apply this over the top of the cloak and the red trim. Just add a little bit of extra depth. And with that done, we're going to apply one last shade, which is going to be some Seraphim Sepia. And we're going to apply this over the top of the white of the pole on the spear. So with that done, Belthanos, the first Thorn of Kurnoth, is now at what I would call a War Hipster battle ready. However, we're not going to leave him there, of course not. We're going to take him to the next level. I'm going to do this by adding just a couple of highlights here and there. So the first of these is going to be some Screaming Skull. And we're going to use this to dry brush very gently across the yellow areas of the tail section. So we're just going to go from that kind of segment just there. We're looking to basically just catch those edges. Just like that. What we're also going to do here is we're going to use this to dry brush the horn around the tip. Just up there, and then across the main body of the horn as well. Just like that. Now for the areas under here, you can try to dry brush it, but it is quite narrow. So what we'll do is we'll thin some down. And we'll try it, we'll apply it as a kind of like a line highlight. It is possible to do it, but it is quite fiddly, so it's just easier to get in there and do it manually, as it were. So with that Screaming Skull dry brush applied, we're then going to take some Blue Horror. I'm going to add this as a little dry brush over a number of different details. So firstly, what we're going to do is just around these swirls, we're going to add a little bit of the Blue Horror, like that, and like that. Similarly, over the top of the tip of the nose, the spikes on the corners, and with that Blue Horror dry brush applied, we're then going to take some Fulgrim Pink. I'm going to use this to dry brush all the red. So with all that Fulgrim Pink dry brush applied, we're done with dry brushing. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the line highlighting. And one of these is going to be Karak Stone. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the wood. Now this is a little bit time consuming here because there's lots and lots of edges on the wood. However, I'm just going to very carefully start making our way around the model, picking out all these edges. You could dry brush this with if you wanted to, but he's a main character after all. So with that all done, he's looking really, really good. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take some thinned down Mephiston Red. And we're going to use this to now highlight all of the trim. So with all that Mephiston Red applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Dawnstone. I'm going to use this to highlight the strap. So with that done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Karak White. We're going to do a number of different things here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to use this to highlight the spear. Just like that sort of thing, but we're going to do every single edge on the spear. The next thing we're going to do after we've done the spear is we're going to use this to pick out this little dot just down here on the bug. Like that. We've got another one on the other side. Like that. Similarly, we're going to use the Karak White to pick out Belthanos' eyes. Just like that. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to use this to relayer the spear, just avoiding where the shade is settled. Like that. And finally, we will do the rest of it, of course, but the final thing we're going to do with the white is we're going to use this to highlight the wings. Just like that sort of thing. So we're going to go around and do all of these things. And then once that's done, we'll come back. So with that Karak White applied to all of those details, what we're now going to do is take a little bit of Blood Angel's Red. Not very much here. And we're going to apply this over the top of the little white dots we've got now down here. And that. Like so. And we're going to apply this over the top of the eyes. And with that Blood Angel's Red all applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Slaanesh Grey. I'm going to use this to highlight two things. Firstly, we're going to use this to highlight all of, well, I say all. We use this to highlight the little kind of purple mandibles down here. Like that sort of thing. But what we're also going to do with the Slaanesh Grey is we're going to use this to highlight the claws and the segments above the claws. So with that done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour. We're going to use this to relayer all the gold, just avoiding all the recesses. We want to make it nice and bright and warm. And with that Retributor Armour applied, we're going to apply our final highlight in the form of Stormhost Silver. I'm going to use this to pick out the edges in all the gold. So with that done, Belthanos, the first Thorn of Kurnoth, is now finished. He looks absolutely incredible. Love it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to very quickly do the base. And the colour we're going to be using first is some Wyldwood. I'm going to be applying this over the top of all of the wood. So all the fallen tree branches and things like that. And there is like a pile of moss and things all over the top, which we're just going to avoid. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter if you get some of this on there, as it's all nature. And with all that Wyldwood applied, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Flesh Tearers Red once more. I'm going to apply this over the top of all of the moss, the vines and the leaves and things. With all that Flesh Tearers Red applied, we're then going to take some Gryph-Charger Grey, and we're going to apply this over the top of the little kind of tentacly jobbies, just down here, like that. So that done, and now that the Flesh Tearers Red is fully dry, what we're going to do is we're going to take two colours, Volupus Pink and Cygor Brown. I'm going to use these to add a little bit of depth here and there. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking some Volupus Pink. I'm going to apply this over the top of, let's say, this little section, just round here like this. Get this all over like that. Bring it down these vines like so. Then we're going to wash the brush, grab a small amount of Sygor Brown, and just whilst it's still wet, we're going to add a little bit of Sygor Brown just coming down like that and like that. We can also just add little patches of it here and there in amongst the red. Like that. Wash the brush and then swap back to Volupus Pink. Wash the brush. And back to Cygor Brown. So with that all done, we're now just waiting for it to dry. So what we're going to do is we're going to make that wait even longer by taking some Sterling Battlemire and applying this over the top of all of our remaining negative space on the base. And then we're going to leave it to fully dry. And then we'll come back and finish it. So with that all now dry, the only thing left to do in terms of paint is to take some Tyrant Skull. I'm going to use this to dry brush all of the soil and all of the wood. But we're not going to dry brush the red because, well, we don't need to. And also, the main kind of colour that's going to happen on this base is because of the flowers that we're going to add. We're going to add lots and lots and lots of flowers. Like an inordinate amount of flowers. More flowers than you've ever seen. But we'll come back for that, of course. But for now, you just want to get this Tyrant Skull all over. And then once that's done, we'll come back. So as you can see, we've got a fair few different tufts here. The main thing here is that we have the Wildflowers set from Gamer's Grass. And that's these 4 over here. We've also got the Spiky Beige set here, just to add a little bit more extra height to all of the good stuff that we're about to apply. So what we're going to do is we're also using the Mixed Green set, and what we're going to do is we're going to start by adding some of these mixed green tufts to the base. So I'm just going to start just here in this corner. So we're going to add 1 mixed green there, we're going to add another mixed green there, and we're going to add another around about there, like that sort of thing. Then we're going to grab this clump of tall beige and we're going to apply that just there like that. And then we're going to one by one apply these flowers in sets of 2. So there's 2 of the pink ones. Like that. We're then going to take some blue ones. Apply them there like that. Got some yellow ones. We're then going to apply like that. And then we're also going to apply some white ones there. And we'll apply some white ones just there, like so. And realistically, from that point on, then just want to rinse and repeat that. So I'm going to add a couple of extra mixed green tufts, like that sort of thing. And then I'm going to continue on this way. I'm going to put some white flowers just there. I'm going to put some red in there like that. Some more white flowers back here. We'll go for a clump of tall beige, or spiky beige as it is, more commonly known. Actually, I don't like that there. I'll put that back there. I'll put another one of these here. And that sort of thing. More mixed green. just like this. Probably going to use all of these white flowers, to be honest. Might as well just get that over with. That looks pretty good to me. So we can just dispose of that and move on to the blues. You obviously don't have to fully carpet your base if you don't want to, but it's kind of what I tend to do on these. Larger Sylvaneth models. It looks fantastic though, doesn't it? Positively thrumming with life.
So with all of those tufts, our veritable garden of colour is now finished, as is Betlhanos, the first Thorn of Kurnoth. It's really difficult to say fast. It's a really cool name there, and he's a really cool miniature, and I'm very, very glad he's done, because he is absolutely stunning, and I cannot wait to get him on the tabletop to lead those legions of Kurnoth Hunters that I currently own. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.